This to me makes a lot of sense. I think you and I on the show yesterday, this is the one I started talking myself into this with Stafford on IR. And I think with questions about Stafford's future, this is just an easy tryout for the Rams, especially when you factor in the amount of money. Um, they're going to have a hard time acquiring players, whether it be quarterback or whether it be any other position, given they have no draft picks. All their older players are tied financially. I actually think this is the right move if you're Sean McVay. And as you said, you just need something to keep you engaged. One,
Sean needs something.
Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Two, part of having Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, LaFleur, Kevin O'Connell, Cliff Kingsbury, if I hire an offensive coach that then is going to be calling the plays, and I find myself in a situation like this, to me, this is the discussion wouldn't even be long. Like, let's bring this guy in and get work with him. I mean, I especially I would assume. I think it's fair to say Baker coming out of Oklahoma was liked by all the Shanahan guys, right? He was mobile enough to do the Jimmy, nakeds, nudes, and boots, and he was really accurate. Like I was very bullish on him. I mean, he was dramatically
does
better.
Not discourage them.
No, he was very, very accurate in college, which clearly hasn't been the case in the pros. But like if you're Sean, again, it costs you nothing. You literally just claim him.
Yeah, it cost him 1.3, basically, I think is what the number is. So
yeah. But I mean, from their standpoint, cost Stan, it doesn't cost like them a draft pick or, they're not going to lose compensation in the whatever it's the compensatory pick. You just fucking take them. And honestly, if you're Baker, I would be pretty excited about this. One, he might like me to either keep me just to be Stafford's backup and resurrect my career, or who knows? Like, I am not sold on Matt Stafford just continuing. Like, he just got 2 concussions in like 3 weeks and his elbow's all fucked up. Like, you would say this year makes you question just the future of Matt Stafford, a guy that just took a pounding very quickly and just felt like he was falling apart.
Yeah. I think he might be on the team again next year, right? Several times in Sean McVay's career, he has needed a backup quarterback, whether it was the playoff run at the end of Goff's run with him. This year, he certainly could have used one. I wonder if he had a backup he liked more if he would have gone to him sooner. Remember, you talk about the concussions, but wasn't it the beginning of the season there were stories about the fitness of Matthew Stafford's elbow? So it's not like Stafford just suddenly got hurt at the end of the year. He's been beat up. I think the whole season.
Remember, he couldn't practice in training camp.
It's been a season, an issue the whole season. So I don't think there's any question that if you're Baker, you're looking at this like, I'm going to be on my best behavior. I'm going to try really hard. I think in ideal world for Baker, he's not like some random team starter next year, although that would be his ideal because you get paid well. I think the best thing for his career is to be the Rams backup in 2023. And who knows, like you said, maybe you end up as the starting quarterback, but he's been on the Browns, who, say what you want. Everyone bought a lot of Kevin Stefanski stock. They're not great. He played for Freddie Kitchens. I mean, he's been through the ringer. He played for Matt Rule and the Panthers. If I was his advisor and you guaranteed me next year, you're not going to be the starter, Stafford is going to come back, but you can just have a normal year on Sean McVay's team. I think that Baker Mayfield, in the interest of revitalizing or giving himself a chance, if he wants a chance at resurrecting his career, I think he's got to do that.
Totally agree. I would expect him to be on the Rams, assuming this goes well. I mean, it might not, right? I mean, and if it doesn't go well, his career's in major trouble. Like, if Sean McVay's not a fan after this, he's in major trouble. Even if Stafford returns, doesn't retire, not that he said that. I'm kind of putting some pieces of the puzzle together. I think there's a chance that he gets off-season elbow surgery.
Yeah.
And so you get to just run the team in the spring with Sean, right? And Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson. It's just like that. That would give you an opportunity to just kind of get in the good graces that if Matt Stafford gets injured a lot in his career, that boom, you're ready to roll. Because the one thing you know about the Rams is like they're going to try to win next year. Like, all these guys are coming back unless they all retire. So to me, this was the no-brainer of no-brainers. When your season sucks, when your quarterback's on injured reserve, and the guy's so cheap.
49ers don't really miss out. If you missed our conversation, we did a special Baker show on Monday. If you missed that, this was our conclusion, is that the 49ers don't make sense for him.
And Kyle said that yesterday, that he couldn't foresee. I think he was using the proper like industry language. Like, I'm not just going to tell everyone we're not going to do it, but I'm not going to admit that we're going to do it. But he leaned on the side of, yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see who else put in a claim, right? As we're doing this on Tuesday afternoon, we don't know who, if anyone else, put a claim in on him.
Part of Michael Lombardi told a story on his podcast that, and this happens throughout the season, right? The Niners do it. Every team does it. You work guys out just to check on guys' fitness, you're just constantly running workouts. Some of it's throwing agents a bone, because when you work guys out during the season, it automatically goes up on the waiver wire. So it just alerts the team like, damn, they worked out 3 quarterbacks. They had scheduled 3 quarterback workouts the week after Tom Brady tore his ACL in 2018 or 2008, excuse me. So they had workouts scheduled for like that Monday or Tuesday. And the moment Tom tears his ACL and then Matt Castle comes in, it's a little different circumstance. They immediately canceled those. Not because they didn't want to still do their due diligence, but because they didn't want it out there like, well, they're already working out quarterbacks with Matt Castle. They wanted to show everyone Matt Castle's our guy. And I do think there's an element of that with Purdy. That was my belief of just, this is just the part of the season you're in. I think you might approach it differently in September, but given that you're 8-4, part of the, showing signs of belief, not even just in Purdy, but the other guys. Like, I know everyone kind of believes. It's not fake belief. Let's just prove it all. And pretty quickly, a bunch of other guys on the team made it pretty, I guess just one because he talked Ayuk, but like, I don't think this was a team beating down the door. They needed some other guy.
No, Fred Warner. Remember, you told me that you showed me the clip of Fred Warner saying, well, he'll be fine. He's been playing against the number 1 defense for 13 weeks. Said that about Brock Purdy. And I do think there's probably a calculation.
He did throw 2 red zone touchdowns. That's something Jimmy struggles with.
Yeah. We'll see. Takes a long. He's got more games to throw red zone touchdowns. Keep it up. There's a lot of promise. The one thing I was going to say though is I do also wonder, even if like, is there a world where you put in a claim if it's anonymous, but you don't put in a claim when you're whatever the Niners are 24th in the claim order and it's not anonymous, where you're like, we're not going to get him, and why even, to your point, even send the signal to anybody that we tried?